106, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
It's time to think outside the pocket on Saturday Scramble.
We're rewriting history here. Cheer for your team. Cheer for your hometown team. It's ridiculous.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
LaFleur is the right guy for the job, but changes need to be made. They need to be tougher. You need to bring in tougher players, instill that attitude into the team, and you have to win playoff games. That is where we're at as a franchise now. It's title town. It's not 7-seed town.
Here's Riley Jauch.
Good morning, Saturday Scramblers. It is a beautiful Saturday morning here. I am live from Camp Randall Stadium. The UW Marching Band just walked by. They're playing on Wisconsin here at the Big Climb, Blood Cancer United Big Climb, to be so specific. We have hundreds of people here at Camp Randall Stadium walking, climbing, and marching up the steps of Camp Randall Stadium to raise money for blood cancer research. It is fantastic. It is a great day to be here, a beautiful day for some walking and a beautiful day to talk some Wisconsin sports. It's just me today, as well as Owen Dimple back at the Everlight Solar Studios behind the glass as he gives some head nods to the camera. Unfortunately, I look like a ghost on the camera. Owen, you look to be much more healthy than I am this morning, which is great.
Yeah, we both rocking the white shirt today. Got my Wisconsin Badger shirt. You know, you're at Camp Randall, so I thought let's go with some Badger attire today.
I love it. I love it. This is a Badgers shirt. Unfortunately, you can't see it, but you know, that's just how it goes. Levi, good morning. Great to be back here with you on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, on ESPN Madison 100.5 FM, and on the ESPN Wisconsin app as well. And we are live from Camp Randall Stadium, so I feel it's only fitting to start the show off with some Wisconsin Badgers discussion. Thank you for the jump around sounder, Owen. Myself and Jim Rutledge host the Jump Around here on ESPN Madison, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app as well. And we had Evan Cohen on this past Thursday. Obviously, the Wisconsin Badgers going through a search for their new athletic director with the departure of Chris McIntosh. They just announced this week that they are putting together a search committee. They announced who is on the search committee, and obviously, that's great fodder for us in the industry to discuss who is on this committee, who should have been on this committee. Maybe are there some folks on the committee that would have been better suited left off. And Evan Cohen had a very strong opinion. I guess I'll let you hear for yourselves. But he believed that Barry Alvarez should definitely have been on this committee for the Wisconsin Badgers. Let's hear what Evan had to say.
If we're saying football is the lifeblood of the university and football is the lifeblood of the sports department, has football at UW-Madison ever been good without Barry Alvarez involved?
No. At least not the way we hope for them to be good.
I mean,
at least the level we want them to be.
Brett and Barry would get together after games, and they would go over tape.
They go on a walk every morning in their neighborhood, right? So, okay, the best coach of our lifetime at UW is obviously Coach Alvarez. Who's second?
If you're going all sports, Mark Johnson. But otherwise, football-wise, Brett Bielema.
Football.
Brett Bielema.
And forever. Yep. Who's second best coach? Brett Bielema.
Yep.
Okay. Who hired him? Who mentored him?
Yep, Barry.
Paul Chris. People wanted to run him out of town. The guy that everybody wanted to be the head coach at the time, Jim Leonard, who brought him in as a player.
Yep.
Guys, you asked the question.
Yep.
That's fair.
Why would Barry Alvarez involved? Because if you care about football first, football's never been good without Barry Alvarez.
So I didn't set that clip up as well as I could have. I asked Evan Cohen ahead of time as this banner almost falls down on me here at Camp Randall Stadium. It's a little windy. It's sunny. Gorgeous state. I believe it's going to be high around 80 degrees today. Unfortunately, not the best setup for the camera. We even flipped around. Initially, I had Camp Randall in the background, but I also looked washed out there. So really a no-win situation as our great part-time teammates Jacob and Audrey take care of the banner back here. Always appreciate their help. Always appreciate the part-timers. But I didn't set that clip up as well as I possibly could have. I asked Evan Cohen, why do we need Barry Alvarez on this committee, since he seemed to feel so strongly that Barry Alvarez, he's the Don. He has always been a part of Wisconsin athletics, specifically football, when they were at their peak. So why wouldn't he be a part of the committee? Why shouldn't he be included in the whole search for a new athletic director? And you heard him just now give his thoughts, and his main rationale is that Wisconsin has never been successful in the sport of football without Barry Alvarez. And we all know, if we're being honest with ourselves, the athletic department goes as the football team goes. Even more so now in the age of NIL and needing to spend tens of millions of dollars just to field a roster of a successful football team. I believe I just saw a figure that Ohio State's football roster is $43 million heading into 2026. That is absurd. So, yes, football is the engine that runs every single athletic department in the country. So, it would make sense that you would want the guy who has been the reason for Wisconsin football's only success ever in the football sphere to be included on the search committee for the new athletic director. However, I love Barry. Let me just start by saying I love Barry. He is great to work with. I've produced his show on these airwaves for the past 2 years. He is phenomenal. I totally understand why his players are so loyal, why his players loved him so much as a coach, why the coaches who worked under him while he was the AD here at Wisconsin, why they loved him so much. He is awesome. He is a great coach. He is a big personality. He's the Don. He's great. And Evan's right. Wisconsin has not been successful at football outside of Barry Alvarez. However, I don't think that means Wisconsin football will never be successful without Barry Alvarez. Barry Alvarez is getting up there in age, in case you didn't know. And I'm not trying to make this an age thing. It's a new era. It's a new era of college athletics. It's a new era of Wisconsin football. And I know that's a buzzword that may not feel as good to Badgers fans, given how poorly the launch went and the new era of Luke Fickell football here at Wisconsin has been so far. But it's a different game now. It's a different time. We are not in the 90s. We're not in the 2000s. We're not even in the 2010s anymore. We are in the 2020s. We are in the age of NIL, where you need money. You need someone who is able to navigate these uncharted waters. And unfortunately, while I love what Wisconsin has done the past 30 years, I love what Barry has built, I don't think we need we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. We need fresh ideas. We need new people in the building to renovate Wisconsin athletics and Wisconsin football. Not that everyone in this department has been doing a bad job, but if Wisconsin wants to get to where we want them to go as Badgers fans and where we think they should go as Badgers fans, at least for me personally, I think Wisconsin, with the alumni base, with how amazing the campus is, with just how amazing this university is. This is the number 2 public institution in the country, for crying out loud. This is one of the best schools in the world. We need people in the building who are willing to do what it takes to innovate, to get Wisconsin athletics to the point where the academics are right now. We need someone to push Wisconsin forward. That's the motto of the state. That's the motto of the university, is forward. We need to move forward. I love Barry Alvarez. I love everything he's done. However, I just don't think he's a necessity anymore. He doesn't need to be included on every decision. We need to move forward. We need people in the building who are willing to push the envelope, who are willing to do things different. Because the way we've always been doing things hasn't worked the past few years. You can't wait for legislation that's not going to happen to magically appear and save Wisconsin so we can continue to do things the right way. That's not how it works anymore. You got to be willing to look into unique avenues of acquiring capital and acquiring revenue, and you have to be willing to live on the cutting edge, live on the edge a little bit, and take risks, which I don't think has been Wisconsin's bread and butter as of late. 844-770-3776, the Carbless Talking text line. Less is more. Feel free to chime in. What do you think? Do you think Barry Alvarez should be a part of the UW Athletic Director Search Committee? How do you feel about the Wisconsin Badgers Athletic Director Search Committee in general? Where do you think they should go? Who do you want? What kind of person do you want running Wisconsin athletics moving forward? O-Dog, felt like you were going to chime in. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you're saying, Riley. It's the university for the athletic department needs kind of a facelift. It needs a facelift into this new era of money and the transfer portal and all that, and that will help the football program. But when you say that you need to change things up, didn't they already try to do that when they brought in Luke Fickell? They went outside of the hiring. They usually hired within, internal. They kept Badgers around. They went external with Luke Fickell. He brought in Phil Longo, and they're like, we're going to just forget about everything that we've built on the run game, having a physical, dominant offensive line, good defense, and we're going to go air raid. We want to go fast. We want to try and spread it out. I mean, it didn't work. It didn't work.
Yeah, I agree. But who brought in Luke Fickell? And this was a point that I didn't get to in my diatribe just now. It was Chris McIntosh. And who hired Chris McIntosh? Barry Alvarez. He was anointed by Barry Alvarez. That was the word we kept coming back to on the Jump Around on Thursdays. Thursdays, 12:30 p.m., ESPN Madison YouTube channel. A very well-produced show by Owen Dimful, by the way. Barry Alvarez hired Chris McIntosh, who then hired Luke Fickell. And I'm still – I've mentioned this so many times. I'm still totally on board the Luke Fickell train. The biggest mistake he made was hiring Phil Longo and, like you said, trying to revolutionize the Wisconsin offense and trying to modernize it. I think just because Luke Fickell went about trying to modernize Wisconsin football in the wrong way doesn't mean that Wisconsin football didn't need to be modernized. And just because Chris McIntosh went about trying to modernize Wisconsin athletics in the wrong way, even though I think outside of Luke Fickell, I don't think he really tried to modernize or innovate or develop much further or really, dip his toes into any unfamiliar waters.
I have a hard time believing that Chris McIntosh tried to modernize.
That's
just from his role as the athletic director.
Exactly. So that's a bit of a stretch. Outside of Luke Fickell, I don't think he really did that. But just because they went about it the wrong way doesn't mean it doesn't need to happen. You just got to get the right people in place to do it the correct way, which, in my opinion, the correct way, as much as it sucks to look at college athletics this way, but as the song goes, it's all about the money, money, money. You got to look at the money. You got to be willing to take a look at private equity. Michael Shannon, he founded a private equity firm. He's on the search committee. I love that. I think that's where you need to put your primary focus in this athletic director search. Someone who is willing to find creative ways to raise money for Wisconsin athletics and to give Wisconsin athletic programs, mainly football, men's basketball, a relatively close second as well. You have to give them the money to compete, but you can't give them the money to compete if you can't find the money. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, talk a little Packers. We have Jason Wilde coming up at 10:30. Also have some Brewers talk coming your way later. Jeff Levering of the Brewers Radio Network will be joining us at 11 a.m. Chock-full show. One of the biggest cliches in radio, a jam-packed show. But even though it's just myself and the O-Dog, Owen Dimple, we do have a jam-packed show for you today. Live from Camp Randall Stadium, this is Saturday Scramble on ESPN Madison.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Every regular season Friday home game at American Family Field, ticketed fans 21 and over who sit in the Miller Lite beer pit in the left field loge bleachers will receive a free Brewers cap courtesy of Miller Lite. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we help you find value on the things you value. So when it's time to take on a project, we've got you covered with the right supplies at unbeatable prices. Right now, during our Yard Defense Days, save $10 on select bags of Scott's Grub X or Turf Builder Triple Action, $10 off 20-pound bags of Estate Grass Seed, and select Livingston vegetable and flower seeds, 25% off MSRP. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Talk Badger sports year-round with the Jump Around podcast.
Joined by former Badgers offensive lineman Rob Havenstein.
I mean, I came up in such a great time at Wisconsin. You know, Gabe Karimi had just won the Outland Trophy. John Moffitt was a stud. Travis Frederick was a young guy coming up. And so I got to learn what it means to wear that Motion W on your helmet.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Steinhoffels. Streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
All across Wisconsin, destination marketing organizations are working to ensure that tourism in our state and your local community is stronger than ever. Their work to drive visitation and enhance the visitor experience not only encourages travelers to discover our great state, it bolsters the economy, supports jobs, and it improves the quality of life for all Wisconsin residents. To learn more about what these great organizations are doing, visit destinationswisconsin.com.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
Hey, sports fans, the ESPN app has all of ESPN all in one place. The ESPN app is your home to thousands of live events, ESPN shows, and originals across every ESPN network in service. And now you can check if you already have ESPN Unlimited as part of your TV package for no additional cost. Visit activate.espn.com to learn how to access your account or sign up, then start streaming in the ESPN app. It's all of ESPN all in one place. Sign up or activate now.
I'm Isaac Miller, Wisconsin born, Wisconsin built, and proud to be wearing Cardinal white in the future. That's why teaming up with Iron Jauch just makes sense. It's the gear that's made for how we live up here. Early mornings, late nights, and putting in that work when nobody's watching. Iron Jauch isn't about flash. It's about showing up, staying tough, and representing where you're from. If you're built the same way, you already get it. Iron Jauch, Wisconsin grit, every day.
As a first-generation student, I initially joined the military to ensure I could afford college, and I had a lot of self-doubt. But at Madison College, there are so many resources extended to me, and I feel supported and confident to reach my goals. Best of all, I'll be able to transfer to a 4-year college debt-free. My advice to others, believe in yourself and your future. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
How many wins for the Green Bay Packers in 2026? That's what myself, Riley Jauch, and Owen Dimfel will be discussing momentarily. Saturday Scramble is live from Camp Randall Stadium here for the Big Climb, brought to you by the Blood Cancer United. Or Blood Cancer United Big Climb. I feel like that's the technical term. Second time I've messed it up today, but it's awesome. They're raising money here for blood cancer research. Amazing day. Vibes are perfect here at Camp Randall Stadium. We just talked about the Badgers athletic director search. I don't think they need to include Barry Alvarez on the search committee. I don't think we need to continue doing what we've always been doing. I want some new blood. I want some new faces, some new ideas here at Kellner Hall, here in the Wisconsin Athletic Department, and I want to see some new results. I want to see some wins, and we want to see some wins for the Green Bay Packers as they head into 2026. The schedule was released on Thursday for the year of our Lord 2026 for the Green Bay Packers, and me and Owen thought it'd be fun if we went through the schedule, not the typical schedule game necessarily, but sharpening in some guaranteed wins for the Green Bay Packers in 2026, and then maybe sort of figuring out if they win, if they're guaranteed these wins, then how many wins total on the season. So, O-Dog, could you fire up some NFL music for us? All righty, here we go. Starting with Week 1, the Packers have a divisional opponent in the Minnesota Vikings. O-Dog, I don't think that's a guaranteed win for the Green Bay Packers.
Not guaranteed, but I like their chances. You know, Minnesota's going to have probably Kyler Murray Week 1 starter unless J.J. McCarthy has a terrific training camp. But it's just going to be a new system, new quarterback, everything you got to figure out with that. So I'm not going to Sharpie this one in, but I really, really like Green Bay's chances, and I feel like they're going to be a 3-point favorite at U.S. Bank Stadium.
All right, 3-point favorite on the road to open the season. All right, Owen, I love the confidence. Levi saying 12 wins on the season in the YouTube chat. I love that confidence as well. I think I'll give it a pencil, a dark pencil, but I'm not Sharpieing that in. For spoiler alert, I have 6 games. 6 games Sharpied in for the Green Bay Packers to win in 2026. And one of those being Week 2 against the New York Jets. If they lose to the Jets, come on. Then we're probably having some bigger picture discussions about where Green Bay is at and what they need to do moving forward, and if they're making the playoffs. New York Jets, that's got to be a win. It should be a win. It will be a win. I'm sharpening that in. Owen, any dispute? Any further commentary?
Not really. I mean, the Jets are always going to jet. In Week 2, early in the season, out in MetLife, yeah, give me the Packers all day, every day. Sharpie.
Yep, and I am also sharpening in Week 3 against the Atlanta Falcons. 2 guaranteed dubs back-to-back. Even if they fall to Minnesota in Week 1, I feel like you have 2 perfect opportunities for get-right games immediately following, which I love. I'm sharpening in the Falcons.
Yeah, that one, yeah, I'm going to Sharpie this one in. It's the home opener. I feel like the team's going to come out juiced up. It's going to be electric. Lambeau Field's going to be rocking for the home opener of the 2026 season. Yeah, I'm going to Sharpie this one in. Give me Green Bay W.
All right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 4. I'm not Sharpieing that in. I don't think that's a guaranteed win. Buccaneers are scrappy. That feels like a toss-up to me.
The Buccaneers are such an interesting team. I saw that Gabe Neitzel compared them to the Cincinnati Reds.
Okay.
For the MLB to NFL comparison, you know, they're always a team that's going to be their year. They're going to do it this year. They're going to take that next step. But then they maybe might be a wild card team. So I thought that was a great comparison by Gabe Neitzel. But really,
you got to take out the Brady year if you make that comp.
Yeah, that's fair. I like Baker Mayfield. I really do. But I don't know if I like the rest of the team.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just not sharpening it in. I think Baker Mayfield, they're scrappy enough where they could give the Packers trouble in Week 4. The Bears, Week 5, I am sharpening that in. This is a revenge season for the Green Bay Packers. This is a revenge season for Matt LaFleur. You think the Packers aren't going to be motivated heading? They get to be at home at Lambeau Field. First Bears game of the season after all that happened last year, all the debacles, everything, 2 chokes, back-to-back, 2 games they should have won, one in the wild card round, all the smack that Bears fans have been talking this season, this offseason. Like, they're going to be more than ready for the Bears in Week 5, and I think I wouldn't be shocked if that's a blowout. I would not be shocked if the Packers beat them down pillar to post. That is the only divisional game I am sharpieing in for this season. The Packers are beating the Bears in Week 5. I don't care if Micah's back or not. The Packers are winning that game.
Even without Micah Parsons?
Even without Micah. Packers beat the Bears in Week 5. I'm not saying they beat the Vikings Week 1. I'm not saying they beat the Bears on Christmas Day. I'm not guaranteeing another divisional win this season. I am guaranteeing that the Packers beat the Bears Week 5 at Lambeau Field. Sharpie that.
Yeah, I do like the Sharpie for this one. I feel like everything that happened at the end of last season is going to build up for this one. I really think Micah Parsons makes his season debut in this game. He's going to be amped up. I don't know if you saw his reaction as soon as the schedule came out, that it's going to be legendary when he comes back. And
it's going to be so awesome.
Everybody talks about how great his player entrance, his intro.
Enter Sandman.
Well, that, but also Week 1 against Detroit last year, his first ever time stepping foot on Lambeau Field wearing the green and gold, and Lambeau Field just erupted. Could this be a bigger eruption for his return if it's against the Bears Week 5?
Oh, yes. And you know he is going to be doing everything in his power to come back by Chicago. I can only imagine how agonizing it was for him to watch the wild card game from the press box. He is going to be back. I'm not going to go that far. I think he'll be back by Week 5. But even if he's not, Packers going to beat the Bears in Week 5. The band's playing on Wisconsin. I love it. I love Camp Randall. I love the Wisconsin Badgers. This is awesome. And I love the Green Bay Packers. But we got to get to Jason Wilde coming up here in the next few minutes. So let's really roll through these last 12 weeks of the NFL season. Dallas Cowboys, I'm not sharpieing that. Owen?
No. I think that's a toss-up game.
Yep. Lions, Week 7. I can't Sharpie that in either. Lions are going to be better this year.
You can never Sharpie in a game at Detroit, at Ford Field.
Mm-hmm. Week 8, the Carolina Panthers. I am Sharpieing that in. That goes with Matt LaFleur's revenge season. They're beating the Panthers this year. They're not letting that happen again.
No, definitely not again after what happened last year and Rico Dowdle running all over the Packers defense. I don't see that happening twice in 2 years.
Week 9 at New England. I'm not Sharpieing that in. Even with all the distractions New England's going to have. We'll see if Mike Vrabel's still the coach by Week 9. But I can't. They were in the Super Bowl last year. Not Sharpieing that in.
No, AFC champion. It's going to be a great game. That's going to be a really, really fun game to watch.
Yep. Week 10, Minnesota Vikings. Already decided not Sharpieing in divisional games. That's not a guaranteed win. Then they go to their bye week in Week 11. I like the placement of the bye this year. Week 12, followed by the Rams on Thanksgiving Eve. You can't Sharpie that one either, in my
Definitely not. I know the Packers have had Sean McVay's number over the past several years, but still, it's just the idea of the Rams. They're going to be such a good team again this year. You can't do anything with that game. It's going to be a toss-up.
Levi agrees with us. He's sharpieing in the Packers to beat the Bears Week 5 as well. Feel free to chime in. I can't read the text, unfortunately, on the Carbless Talking text line, 844-770-3776. So give us a call if you have any thoughts, or feel free to chime in on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. On to Week 13. New Orleans Saints down in NOLA. I am sharpieing this in only because I have a friend who's a diehard Saints fan, so the Packers need to win this game, and they will.
And I'm going to label this one Bourbon Street Blowout.
Okay.
Packers blow out the Saints down in New Orleans.
I like that. Week 14, Buffalo Bills. Can't Sharpie it.
No, that's definitely not.
Going to be a fun game, though. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Excited for Buffalo at Lambeau, followed by another AFC East foe, the Miami Dolphins. They can't play in cold weather. I have another friend who's a diehard Dolphins fan. That's a Sharpie game. That's the most Sharpie game of all Sharpie games this season. The Dolphins coming into Lambeau in December. Book it. Packers big dub.
Yeah, but I wonder what the mentality is going to be with Jeff Hafley and Malik Willis. Will they have that chip on their shoulder to give the Packers a game? I still like the idea of sharpieing this one for a W, but I'm definitely interested to see how that game plays out.
I would agree. And, yeah, Jeff Hafley, Malik Willis angle definitely does make it a little more interesting, but I still think Packers get it done. Second Bears game, Week 16 on Christmas. Can't Sharpie that at Soldier Field.
Nope.
Should be tough. Should be fun. Can't Sharpie it. Week 17, the Houston Texans at Lambeau Field. I am not Sharpieing that in.
Really?
I'm not. I think the Texans, they were a playoff team last year. Their defense is always good. That could be a trap game in my mind between you just have a game in Soldier Field against the Bears, especially if you have an emotional win or loss at Soldier Field. Then you have the Lions to close out the season in what could be an NFC North title game, depending on where the Packers are at. I just feel like that Texans game at home just feels trappish to me.
I feel like it would be more of a trap game if it was in Houston. I feel like it's less of a trap game that it's at Lambeau.
All right. I can hear that, but I'm still not Sharpieing it in. And finally, Detroit Lions, Week 18. You can't Sharpie that in. That's going to be a brawl. I am very excited. Could be for the NFC North. Seeding implications, I'm sure, will be on the line. So certainly can't guarantee a win for the Packers. But overall, I really like this schedule. I think it shakes out pretty well for the green and gold. And I see, a guaranteed 6 wins, which probably puts them somewhere. I'm thinking they're winning more than 10 games for sure this year. Owen, any final thoughts before we get to Jason Wilde?
Yeah, I like the 6 you can Sharpie in. As long as this team gets more than 9 wins than they did last year, I'm cool with it. Even if it's just 10 or 11, it's going to be tough. This is going to be a tough year. This is going to be a tough division again. And it's just going to have to be, you're going to have to play your best ball at the end of the year, which they haven't done that the past couple of years. So that's what I'm interested to see is at the end of the year how they're playing. If they can do that, 10 or 11 wins could be enough to claim back the NFC North.
And we will talk with Jason Wilde coming up next about the Packers, where they stand in the NFC North, their schedule, and much, much more. This is the Saturday Scramble live from Blood Cancer United's Big Climb here at Camp Randall Stadium. Don't go anywhere. Jason Wilde next.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes, those are crystal clear. Cheers! With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
When your car needs care, trust the team that treats it like their own. Conant Automotive in Stoughton. From oil changes and brakes to engine diagnostics and major repairs. Their ASE certified technicians deliver honest, reliable service you can count on. Plus, they offer loaner vehicles and convenient after-hours drop-off to fit your schedule. Serving the Stoughton area since 2006. Trust the local brand that's built a reputation for dependable auto repair. Visit Conant Automotive on Highway 51 in Stoughton or learn more at ConantAuto.com.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Bo here from Ridgetop Exteriors. Southern Wisconsin got hit hard with hail recently. If your home took a beating, now's the time to take action. We've been delivering top quality roofing, siding, and window services locally for over 23 years. With free damage assessments and insurance experts on staff, we've been your licensed, local, and trusted contractor since day one. Don't wait until small damage becomes a big problem. Turn to Ridgetop Exteriors today. RidgetopExteriors.com. That's RidgetopExteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Running a business doesn't leave time to wait. You need answers and a banker who responds. At Starion Bank, you work directly with local decision makers who understand your business and act quickly. No runaround, no delays, just solutions. The right banking relationship makes a difference, especially when things get complicated. Starion Bank, built for the long game. Visit starionbank.com to get started today.
Here's the thing, buying jewelry should feel good, not rushed, not pressured, and definitely not final if it's not right. That's why at Condon Jewelers you can exchange your purchase so you actually end up with what you really want. And when it comes to value, Condon Jewelers offers some of the best prices in the area without sacrificing quality, service, or trust. So whether you're celebrating a big moment or just treating yourself, you can shop confidently knowing they've got your back. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson inviting you to join Wilde and Tausch live at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. We're back on the road this Monday, May 18th for another classic trip down I-90. Join us for the show and experience over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, including more than 1,300 slot machines and 50 live table games. Plus, Tausch and I are putting some wagers down at the sportsbook, too. Wilde and Tausch, Monday, May 18th from 9 a.m. to noon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
This is Saturday Scramble live from Blood Cancer United's Big Climb here at Camp Randall Stadium. It's a gorgeous day here in Madison, Wisconsin, as we are joined by the one and only Jason Wilde. Jason, how's the weather out there in Green Bay today?
It's warm. I wouldn't want to be running steps in the condition that I'm in currently, but guys that are in great shape like you, young squire, I hope you're going to crush the competition like your jiu-jitsu brackets.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the plan. After the show's over, have some time to get some social coverage. I've been watching people do the steps and do the climb. I'd love to do it afterwards. I'm in my athletic garb. I'm ready to go. And I don't envy the people, though, that are doing it currently in firefighting outfits. Major respect to them. Awesome to see. But that would be certainly a little more difficult.
Yeah, those men and women of the that are firefighters are they are probably the most underrated athletes when you think about what they have to do to save people's lives and fight fires and what they have to wear while they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like whenever I watch a 9/11 documentary and there's firefighters talking about how the elevators were out and they had to climb the stairs to try and rescue people, I just think, dude, I'm not getting more than 5 flights of stairs. And I'm not in, like, terrible shape for being old, but, like, you can put me in shorts and a T-shirt, and that's still a struggle, much less wearing all the garb.
Yeah, well, everyone here is saving lives here at the Big Climb, raising money for blood cancer research. So awesome stuff being done here at Camp Randall Stadium today. And not as awesome stuff has been done here at Camp Randall Stadium over the past few football seasons. We started this show off talking about the search for the new athletic director and Evan Cohen's comments on the jump around saying that he thinks Barry Alvarez should have been a part of the search committee and should have been a part of the search in general for the new athletic director because Wisconsin football, apart from Barry Alvarez, in some way, shape, or form, has not been successful. Me personally, I don't think he should. I love Barry. I'm grateful for everything he's done, but he also hired Mac, and I think in this new era of college athletics, we need some fresh blood and fresh ideas. Jason, you covered Barry Alvarez when you were a student here, and you probably know more about Barry Alvarez's coaching career and time as an athletic director than I do. What are your thoughts on whether or not Wisconsin should have included Barry on their search committee?
Yeah, I think it's generational. I really do. And so for someone like Evan, who's a little bit younger than me, I heard his comments. I thought they were very well reasoned. and he certainly made a very good case. Like he's so good at what he does. It's kind of annoying, frankly. I wish I was that good, but somewhere in between where you're at, which I also think you can make a very eloquent, reasonable argument for why he shouldn't be. You just did in kind of the elevator pitch format, very briefly. My argument is, what's the harm of having him on, as long as you make sure that, and I think this would be the challenge, that he doesn't commandeer the entire committee, right? Like, he is a natural leader. He has run the athletic department. He has been an incredibly successful coach. He's a college football Hall of Famer. And so someone with his gravitas, I think there would be maybe the inclination to defer to him, right? I know that I'm not intimidated by many people, but as you mentioned, covering him as a student, I was definitely intimidated. Covering him as a young professional, still relatively intimidated. Not intimidated by him now. We've talked enough times over the years, but he does have that factor. So, look, I think Michael Finley and I were college classmates. I covered him for the Badger Herald and knew him very well. Obviously, he's had a very successful run with the Dallas Mavericks as an executive. Obviously, when you look at Chris Ballard, who is the GM of the Indianapolis Colts, there's another guy that's a UW alum that makes sense. I love the idea of the committee. I think Barry should be on it, but as I often hedge, I would argue that you have to make sure that he has the same voice that Chris Ballard or Michael Finley or the soccer player, I apologize for getting his name, but he's the head of the student athletic
William Smith,
group.
I believe.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot William Smith. But you know what I mean? Like, I think you have to be careful because he has such a powerful presence, just to make sure that he's an equal partner. And look, I also thought Tausch should have been on it. I think Tausch is a really bright guy. I do not want him to be the next athletic director. I don't want him to be the next offensive line coach. I don't want him to be the next governor. I want him to continue to do the show for another 10 years so we can get to our 20th anniversary. But we'll worry about our 10th anniversary first. But I think he would have been a good person to have on that committee as well. I just am fascinated by this because what I find odd is that, it's if they're going to hire an athletic director before they hire someone to run the actual university as the chancellor, that's kind of like hiring the coach before you hire the GM in the NFL, and that makes me a little leery.
That's fair, and I feel like a little different in college because the chancellor also has to worry about the academic foundation of the institution as well as athletics, and with the way it's going, athletics might split off here sooner rather than later. Jason Wilde joining us.
I hope not, and you make a really good point, Riley, but I would also add, and this is a Barry Alvarezism, but the football program is the welcome mat, the front door to your university. I mean, it certainly, and look, I didn't play sports at Wisconsin. I care about the university more than I care about the Badgers winning and losing in their various sports.
Fair.
But I would say that success in athletics also leads to good things for academia and vice versa. I just think all those folks have to be on the same page. And certainly whoever the chancellor ends up being can do a bang-up job running the academic mission of the school. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the athletic department can be successful, though, if their athletic director and their chancellor are not on the same page. That is one of the kind of the secret sauce of the Barry Alvarez, Pat Richter, and Donna Shalala era when you weren't born yet.
Yeah.
It was that all three of them were on the same page, and then Barry would tell you that John Wiley, who took over for Donna Shalala, didn't really have much interest in sports, but certainly allowed him to do what he needed to do and Pat Richter to do what he needed to do. And if it becomes something where the new chancellor is a little more meddlesome or doesn't necessarily understand the value of athletics, then I think that's where trouble could start.
Yeah, I agree with that, Jason. Jason Wilde joining us on the Yuengling Guest Hotline. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America, now in Wisconsin. D.G. Yuengling and Sons, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. Transitioning to the Packers, Jason. Before you hopped on, Owen and I were going through the Packers schedule and sharpieing in games that we thought the Packers were guaranteed to win. Lock them down. And I came up with, or we as a collective came up with 6 games: Jets, Falcons, Panthers, Saints, Dolphins, and Week 5 against the Bears. I know you feel strongly about the Packers-Bears rivalry heading into this season. Do you think it's fair to sharpie in that first Bears game? I think LaFleur and the entire team is going to be irate heading into that game in a good way, in a constructive way, and that there's no way they lose at Lambeau to the Chicago Bears, even if Micah Parsons isn't back. How do you feel about that?
I think you guys are idiots.
Clip that, Owen.
So I've told this story many times, but for the kids out there that haven't heard it, I was roughly your age. What are you now, 23, 24?
24, turning 25 in a few months.
All right, so I was 24 years old when the Packers played in Super Bowl 32. They had won Super Bowl 31 with me covering the team, which was obviously crucial to that in my first season. And we're riding the bus. Tom Oates says it might have been like a train. I swear it was a bus, but train, bus, whatever the mass transit was to Qualcomm Stadium for Super Bowl 32 against the Denver Broncos, who were 12.5-point underdogs for that Super Bowl, and the Packers were looking to repeat. I said, I don't see any way the Packers lose this game. Again, for you children on the program, the Packers did lose that game. This one's for John. So I don't think you should be sharpieing anything. Now you can express your confidence, but this is the youth of America today, you guys. You guys are our young, up-and-coming stars. Alex Strope's another one. You guys always got to be, you're just so different than me. Sharpie. I think you guys should tattoo those dates. If they lose any of those games, you have to have that game and the score tattooed on your butt if you're so confident. Because look, if you had done this, if you and the O-Dog had done this exercise a year ago, there is no way in God's green earth you would have picked the Packers to lose on the road to the Cleveland Browns the way they did.
No.
Because they had no business losing that game. That was atrocious. They, even as badly as they played and even as inept as they were offensively, they still should have won the game, and they peed down their legs. So, yeah, there should be no sharpieing. There should be no any of that. That said, I do agree with you that those are the games that you should undeniably expect them to win. And the Bears game, I think those two games, I think the Packers are going to go 2-0 against them. And that's not me being a homer. I think this rivalry is going to be great moving forward. I'm excited about that. The Bears fans are a little bit douchier than I would like at this point after the 2 wins they had at Soldier Field. But I think they're going to backslide a little bit this year. And then in 2027, I think these teams will be at each other's throats once again.
All right. Well, I disagree on the Sharpie, and I'm pretty confident. Maybe we will do the tattoo bet later somewhere down the line when it comes to those games. But now I defer to my fellow youngster, Owen Dimple. I know he has a question for you, Jason. O-Dog, what do you got?
Jason, when you look at the schedule, do you think it helps or hurts the Packers' chances at reclaiming the North?
Oh, I think it helps, and that's a really good question. It's nice to hear your voice on the air. There was still some discrepancy on our show whether you were permitted to talk or not.
We're cleared.
Congratulations. No, I'm not kidding. That's a big deal. I never had to go through that. They just put me on, which was nice back then in the old days. But I'm glad we can hear from you moving forward. I think this schedule sets up great. That's not that there aren't good teams on it. There are definitely good teams. I think I have them at 11-6 and winning that last game against the Lions to win the division. But if you look at the way the schedule is set up, they don't have any 3 straight road games. They actually only have 2 instances where they play back-to-back road games, and one of them is that weird bye-week, shortened slightly for Thanksgiving Eve football, and then another quasi-bye week before they play at New Orleans. The fact that the teams that you guys mentioned in your sharpieing, many of them are in that first 4 games, or at least 2 of them are, and your expectation is without Micah Parsons, you can win those games. They really did do what I told Tausch I thought they'd do, and that was save the marquee games for when they expected to have Micah Parsons back on the field. So, no, I think this
credit where credit's due, Jason. You called that.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. But the bottom line is that I do think, to Owen's point, the schedule sets up for them to be in a really good place to win the division. But they've got to do it. And they were in a really good position last year, and then they had all the injuries. And it wasn't just Micah. We just focused on Micah the most. And they lose 4 in a row to close out the year. They should have won the division last year. I mean, they had the Bears where with 2 minutes left, it was 16-6. So a lot of things can happen, and that's why you guys should put away your Sharpies and get out your number 2 pencils.
All right. Sounds good, Jason. Last question from me before we let you go. I believe you guys were talking about this yesterday on Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin, about consistency and how that impacts players. The Packers have 7 standalone games, either in prime time or on weird days like Thanksgiving Eve and Christmas. Lots of inconsistency on the schedule, it seems, at least to me. I understand that's the direction the NFL is going, but how big of an impact does that have on the players? And do you think, even though they have these mini buys mixed in, is it more of a positive or a negative to have the schedule this all over the place?
No, it's a really good question, Riley, and I think players would tell you it's a negative. They're creatures of habit, and Tausch will tell you he played 16 games a year when he was playing. He would rather have 16 noon Sunday games every week, noon on Sunday, like the Packers in the 80s were because they were so crappy. But that's not who they are. But you talk to guys, and look, what I have done from a coaching perspective is obviously very different than what Matt LaFleur does. But you can even see it with kids, that are in youth programs or in high school. Like, you mess with their body clocks for game times, and they struggle, right? I mean, I've seen Sydney play some early morning volleyball matches and stink up the gym, right? And then I've seen them play really late at night in a tournament and really struggle. So, like, there's that kind of middle-of-the-day thing where you really are kind of vibing, and I think that's true of NFL teams as well. You're right. It is part of being in the NFL now. There's going to be more, not fewer, of these games. But there is the point about a rhythm, there is no rhythm to this season. I mean, from my perspective, because I'm on the same clock as the players are, I'm just writing and talking about them. But, like, Sunday's the game. Monday, we talk to LaFleur. Maybe there's some locker room access, and we talk to guys about what happened the day before. Tuesday's the day off. Wednesday is when they start installing the game plan. Thursday's the heaviest workload day. Friday's the lighter workload day. Saturday, they have a walkthrough, and they're mostly off for the day, and then they play again on Sunday. They travel on Saturday if it's a road game. There's not a lot of that rhythm for these guys this season, and that will be a challenge. There's no two ways about it.
Jason, last one from me. So we have the schedule out now. You finally got to hear from Jonathan Gannon. What are you most looking forward to now in the offseason before the Packers kick off their season week 1 at Minnesota?
Yeah, first of all, I want to just talk to the guys. Like we had Evan Williams on the show. We talked to Edger and Cooper when they were leaving for the tailgate tour. But I want to talk to Zach Tom and see where he's at in his recovery. I certainly want to talk to Micah Parsons and Tucker Kraft. I want to talk to Jaden Reed about his new contract. So, again, I know this sounds corny sometimes, but like, I think those are the things people want to hear about. And it's my job to bring it to them. So I know OTAs are around the corner. It used to be, again, because I can't get through a segment now without complaining about something. I'm the old man yelling at the cloud. But like in the old days, we went to every single OTA practice and had access to the players after every practice. And now it's 1 out of every 3. I just want to talk to the guys. There's a lot of, there's new free. I haven't talked to Zaire Franklin. I don't know if anybody has. Nobody's talked to Javon Hargrave except maybe Bill Huber, who got him through his agent. So there's a lot of stories that I want to tell and need to be told during the off season. So OTAs are another week or 2 away. I think the first available one is like the 24th. So I think that's later next week. Or maybe early in the following week. So that's what I'm really looking forward to more than anything else.
Jason, really appreciate you taking the time to join us youngsters for about 20-ish minutes on this beautiful Saturday. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Youth is wasted on the young, but we're lucky to have you guys. So keep grinding. Rise and grind. That's what the kids say sometimes.
Yes, sir.
Right? All right, keep it up, guys. Take care. Be good.
That was Jason Wilde on the Yuengling Guest Hotline. We're going to be talking some Brewers. Jeff Levering joining us in just about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere, folks. Saturday Scramble live from Blood Cancer Center United's Big Climb at Camp Randall Stadium continues next.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
All the biggest voices, all in one place. The Yuengling Guest Hotline. Exclusive insight from Hall of Famers, All-Stars, and Game Changers, all on the Yuengling Guest Hotline.
Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas.
We got to play with the structure we have. We got to play with the ball that they gave us.
The Yuengling Guest Hotline on ESPN Wisconsin.
We're Wisconsin. What are the things that we can do to try to make us more competitive in the current environment?
Yuengling, now officially in Wisconsin. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
That's the sound of the hail sale hitting Metro Kia of Madison. Oh, hell yeah. Recent storms rolled through, but here's the best part. Insurance has already covered the damage. That means one thing for you. Big savings across a wide selection of vehicles. This is your chance to upgrade and save thousands. Got a trade? We'll take it, paid off or not. Our lenders are working hard to help get you approved. If you've been waiting for the right time, this is it. Don't miss the hail sale happening now at your community-driven Metro Kia of Madison.
Spring is here. Time to get growing at Felly's Flowers and Greenhouse. Felly's has everything you need to bring your garden to life, including the largest selection of locally grown annuals, perennials, vegetable plants, and custom hanging baskets. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just getting started, Felly's Greenhouse in Fitchburg has the best selection to make your garden bloom. Proudly voted Best of Madison, choose Felly's Flowers as your go-to garden destination. Visit us today and grow with Felly's.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Henningsen with Stoughton Health Ortho Team Clinic. I specialize in joint pain and joint pain surgery, specifically hip and knee replacement, including second-time surgery for hip and knee replacement.
Learn more at orthoteam.com.
Listen to Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
You got to win a postseason game. For Matt LaFleur now, just going and winning the division, if we end up as the 2 seed next season and go out and have a home playoff game and we lose to whomever, this conversation is going to get ratcheted up another tenfold.
Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
When you're having computer problems, you need a company you trust to get things working again. Quickly and affordably. Madison Computer Works has been doing that for business and residential customers for decades. Our computer care plans take away the hassle of being without your computer or needing to bring it in for repair. Starting at only $10 a month, our local and friendly techs provide remote help and can fix most problems in just minutes. Call 608-231-8000 and sign up today. Madison Computer Works, computers that work for you.
Sauna, cold plunge, it's everywhere right now. But at Sauna Day, this isn't a trend. It's an ancient practice that works. Heat and cold exposure are scientifically proven to improve circulation, reduce inflammation, support better sleep, and help you recover faster. At Sauna Day, we've built Wisconsin's first thermal bathhouse in downtown Madison with saunas, cold plunges,
steam, and space to reset. Come try it before work, after a workout, solo, or with friends. Sauna Day. Proven to raise vitality and designed to feel good.
The Bucks are listening to trade offers on Giannis.
It's the smart basketball move that nobody wants to talk about.
He's given everything to this city. He's brought us a championship.
Is this the end of an era in Milwaukee?
He has consistently said he wants to be able to compete for championships. He did not say he wants to do it in Milwaukee.
Now's the hard part. Finding the right team that's going to give you the right assets back that you can reset, because you're never going to find another Giannis.
Follow along on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Michelob Ultra's Soccer Shootout is giving fans the chance to win tickets to the FIFA World Cup 2026. Get in on the action at LJ's and Draft House on Thursday, May 28th. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Also find Michelob Ultra at Whiskey Jack's and W.
2026 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents. Must be 21 plus. Begins February 1st, 2026 and ends on May 31st, 2026. See official rules at www.michelobultra/rules for prices and official details. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited.
Hey Madison, it's Rich Eisen. Join me for the Rich Eisen Show weekdays noon to 2 right here on 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
It's time to think outside the pocket on Saturday Scramble.
We're rewriting history here. Cheer for your team. Cheer for your hometown team. It's ridiculous.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
LaFleur is the right guy for the job, but changes need to be made. They need to be tougher. You need to bring in tougher players, instill that attitude into the team, and you have to win playoff games. That is where we're at as a franchise now. It's title town. It's not 7-seed town.
Here's Riley Jauch.
This is Saturday Scramble, live from Blood Cancer United's Big Climb here at Camp Randall Stadium. We were just joined by three-time Wisconsin Sportswriter of the Year, Jason Wilde, and now we are spoiled today. We are absolutely blessed to be joined by Brewers Radio Network broadcaster Jeff Levering, live from Minnesota. How you doing today, Jeff?
I'm hanging in there. Thanks, Riley. How are you today?
Not too shabby, not too shabby. It is a gorgeous day here at Camp Randall Stadium. I started Jason off with a question about the weather, so I'll do the same for you. What's the weather looking like? What's the forecast for tonight's game?
Everything looks good. I haven't seen a cloud yet today. It was 85 degrees yesterday at game time, so it should be about the same today. Can't say the same for tomorrow, though, so we'll see.
Okay. All right, fair enough. A little hot out there, it sounds, and the Brewers are hot right now. They've won 7 of their last 8. In your opinion, what's been the biggest reason the Brewers have found their mojo again and are clicking again, seemingly on all cylinders after they started hot, sort of had a slump with the injuries and whatnot, and now they're back at it? What's been the biggest difference in your mind?
I would say that the overall difference is the pitching. I mean, it's just getting more and more consistent. Their young starters are starting to feel where they need to feel and showing improvement each and every start. They're finding different ways to score runs every day, which is good. They're not hitting a lot of home runs. I mean, Byron Buxton has more home runs himself this month in May, and he's missed the last 3 games than the Brewers have hit it as a team. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to hit some homers, and hopefully those are coming for the Brewers. But at the end of the day, they're scoring runs. They're finding ways to win games. Oh, excuse me. I still got to wake up a little bit.
No worries.
They're still finding ways to win ball games, and they're just riding this hot streak right now in the month of May.
We had Niger Morgan on our airwaves on Kyle and Brust weekdays 2 to 4 here on ESPN Madison, and Niger said that he feels the Brewers still need a big bat. And this seems to be a conversation every single year with the Brewers. They always find ways to win tons of ball games, seemingly without the long ball. How important do you think is it for this particular Brewers team to add a bat that could produce more home runs? Or do you think someone like an Andrew Vaughn, like a Jackson Chourio, a Christian Yelich, when healthy, is going to start hitting the ball out of the ballpark?
I mean, I think having those 3 guys in the lineup consistently is a good thing. You still haven't seen it yet this year because the one game Yelich played, Vaughn was not in the lineup. So those 3 guys have not been in the lineup altogether all season long. It's really hard to acquire an impact bat in the middle of a season, and you have to be really smart about it. There's a heavy cost with acquiring a bat. And I think for the Brewers, they're always going to be looking for ways to improve their team. However it is, if it's adding an arm, if it's adding a bat, if it's adding a position player, they're always going to be looking to improve this team. But it's a difficult thing to do, especially on the hitting side of things. It's hard to hit in this league. If there is an opportunity to improve, they will. But I think at the same time, they're pretty content with what they've got going right now. It's a fun team. They're guys that believe in each other inside that locker room. So I think that they're in a good space with where they are right now.
All right. And you mentioned a little while ago the young pitching on this team, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Jacob Mizorowski. He's one of the reasons this team's so fun to watch. He's appointment television when he's on the mound. How fun has it been for you to watch him? And what's been the biggest difference? Because last year he was electric, but this year he just is on another level. Like, what's been the biggest difference? How is he taking that next step?
Well, he's grown up. I mean, he's maturing, right? He's 24 years old now, and I think he understands his body. I think he understands what he needs to do in between starts. He's not just relying on natural ability anymore, which he still has a ton of. But he's actually pitching. There's something to be said about throwing 104 miles an hour, but right down the middle. He's throwing 104 miles an hour and painting the edges all the time. So I think he's just coming into his own. I mean, he's got what now 13 big league starts or something like that. I mean, it's incredible what he's. Yeah. It's more than that. It's like 20 starts, but nonetheless, it's still remarkable what he's put together in his young big league career. And then he's just scratching the surface of how good he can be. And if he just continues to hydrate, then he'll be all right. I mean, he's got to get this cramping thing under control. But
is that something you're worried about at all? It doesn't seem to be a huge issue, but it's frustrating for sure.
It is, and he's frustrated with it too. At least it's coming at the end of his starts as opposed to in the beginning of them. He's got to come out early. So, still yawning.
Did you have a long night last night?
No, I just haven't been sleeping very good here recently, but no, we're good. I already got my run in today. I got my 5 miles in. I'm going to go eat some lunch. Maybe that'll help. But
okay.
No, I think the cramping thing is it's going to be fine. He just needs to drink more electrolytes over the course of a day.
All right. Sounds like a plan. And we're also joined by our producer, Owen Dimple, back at the Everlight Solar Studio behind the glass. I know he has a question for you, Jeff. O-Dog, what do you got?
Yeah, Jeff, I just want to ask you about Bryce Terang. It feels like every single year he has gotten much better. What impresses you most when you watch Bryce Terang play baseball?
What impresses me most about Bryce, I mean, he's just so even-keeled. It feels like he is a snake waiting to attack every time he's at the plate or every time he plays defense. He's just incredible to watch. And Tim Dillard said this on the broadcast not too long ago. When he's at the plate, he doesn't give you any sense of how to pitch him, right? Because it's not like, okay, well, he's looking in this at-bat or he's looking away this at-bat, so I'm going to pitch him here, I'm going to pitch him there. He's just so calm and in control of his body and in control of everything that he's doing. It's amazing to see. He has not challenged a pitch this year. He's had many of opportunities to challenge pitches, but he hasn't. All right, well, it's a ball or if it's a strike, whatever, I'm just going to take it and run with it. Unless it's egregious, he might go all year without making a challenge. But he's just ultra impressive to me, watching him go about his business. And I've seen him since he was a first-round pick almost 10 years ago now as a little string bean kid coming over from the minor league side and playing a few games on the big league side. And he's just continued to get better and get stronger. And you're looking at a guy who's a perennial all-star at this point.
Jeff Levering joining us on the Yuengling Guest Hotline. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America, now in Wisconsin. D.G. Yuengling and Sons, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. Jeff, Brewers have a big series with the Cubs coming up this next week, trailing by 2.5 games in the NL Central. What are you most looking forward to about this series, and how do you feel this season in particular the Brewers match up with the Chicago Cubs?
I think that they match up well. I think they match up well no matter what. The Cubs' offense is legit. It's a real offense. I think that the starting pitching for the Cubs is a little light. I think their bullpen is a little light, and I don't know if they can sustain it. But you can say that about a lot of teams this time of the season. But that offense is certainly going to be problematic. It's going to be problematic, and I'm always excited when the Brewers go down and play the Cubs for the first time. The crowd's going to be crazy. It's all night games at Wrigley. The Brewers actually don't play a day game at Wrigley Field this year, which is kind of crazy. All night games down there at Wrigley. But it's always fun. It's a great atmosphere. I think the weather's going to be kind of crummy on Monday, but Tuesday and Wednesday should both be good. So it'd be great if they could put a roof on that place so that we could always play.
Do you think they're going to try and fake a rain delay like they did last year?
No, I don't know. I think they're going to try and play things the way they can. The weather forecast does look pretty bad for Monday, for real. But I think that these games with the Cubs are always emotionally charged. They're always fun, and I think these two teams match up very well. And after the Brewers knocked out the Cubs last year in the postseason, and you better believe that they're going to have revenge on their minds over the course of the regular season.
Jeff, once again, the NL Central Division is a gauntlet. I mean, 1 through 5, you have winning records all across the board. What do you make of the division right now as of May 16th?
Everybody got better. I mean, there are just as many winning teams in the Central as there are in the American League as a whole, which is insane.
Wild.
Every team got better in the National League Central. And even the Brewers, by not doing a ton in free agency, they still got better. And they're on track for the same amount of wins as they had a season ago, which was 97 and a franchise record. It's going to be a total gauntlet. The Central, I think, is the best division in the league, top to bottom. I don't think anybody can argue with that. The way that everybody is playing right now, the Brewers haven't seen the Reds yet. I think they're going to be a pretty good team, and they don't even have Hunter Green, or when they'll even get him back. So there's a lot of question marks going around. I know the Pirates are going to be better. They can hit to go along with that pitching staff. We know what the Cubs are. Do the Cardinals sustain? I don't know. We'll see. But I think it's going to be a really fun spring and summer to follow all 5 of these teams.
A few more questions before we let you go and get your lunch, Jeff. Aaron Ashby has been a fun story this year. He leads Major League Baseball in wins and he's been a weapon out of the bullpen for Pat Murphy. How has he improved most in your eyes, and what does he mean to this ball club?
Just totally healthy. I mean, he had the same shoulder surgery that Brandon Woodruff had a couple of years ago. 2 seasons ago, you could tell him kind of fighting through it. And he goes back and tells the story. There was a bullpen where he throws a pitch and he feels something pop, and it was just the scar tissue releasing. And ever since then, he's been a totally different guy. So I think that for Aaron Ashby, his ability to recover and to pitch 3 times in 4 days or 5 times in 7 days is what makes him such a big weapon. Plus, his stuff is just nasty. I mean, he's throwing 99-mile-an-hour sinkers. Everything he throws moves. I mean, as a former left-handed hitter, I would not want to be facing Aaron Ashby at any point in my life. I don't want that. I don't want that slider. I don't want to see that changeup. I don't want to see that curveball, especially the fastball. So he is definitely a weapon, and the fact that he's available more often than not, that's a good thing.
Jeff, last time we had you on, we were talking about your favorite calls, and you weren't the biggest fan of your Cubs, Brewers, NLDS Game 5 call. How'd you feel about your Mother's Day call? Walk-off home run, Bryce Terang. I thought it was pretty good listening live, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I thought that it was a good moment on Mother's Day. Listen, it was those are always great moments. Even the pinch hit 3-run homer on opening weekend for Christian Yelich.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good call. So I think I've had a couple of good ones so far this year. The Mother's Day one was fun. Those are great moments to celebrate. And for the Brewers to be in that situation, to come back and win 2 days in a row against the Yankees, ended up sweeping that series for the first time since 1989 when you weren't even born yet. I mean, it's really cool. Like you were what, -11 when that happened?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, I was born in 2001, so -12,
Okay.
actually.
-12, yeah. Sorry about it. I was graduating high school at that time. So, no, but it was really good. I don't know. Thanks for making me feel old. But
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Those are great moments. Those are great moments. Just rest assured that you're still older than Jackson Churio. So that's by 3 years.
Exactly. Like Churio, I think me and Mizorowski are the same age. I think he might have me by a few months. Like, now it's getting to the point at 24 years old. Like, I don't feel like I should be feeling old looking at these athletes, but Brewers just have thank you. Just have an absurd amount of young talent. But I do participate, and this is my last one for you, in an old man-ish activity in intramural softball, beer league softball. And I'm curious, you, former baseball player, Brewers broadcaster, does Jeff Levering, do you ever get the time to play like beer league softball anymore? Do you get the time to relax with a carbless or a brewski these days? Like, how do you relax?
Definitely with a few carbless in hand at the end of a night. There's no doubt about that. That is my sanctity. No, I don't partake in the softball. I played for a little while when I had some time, but I don't have that kind of time. And when I do have time, I'm usually spending it with my kids. So that's I'm going to my son's baseball games. He's 11 years old, or my daughter's soccer games. She's in the middle of playing a doubleheader as we speak. So, those are the things that I'm doing, or cutting the grass and doing old man stuff.
All right. Well, still sounds like an excellent time, and best of luck to your daughter in her soccer doubleheader. And I hope you get some lunch, and I'm sure you'll be locked and loaded for the game tonight. But really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. Always learn a lot and enjoy talking with you. Thank you, Jeff.
You got it, Riley. Have a great Saturday. Go Brewers.
Go Brewers is correct. That was Jeff Levering, broadcaster for the Brewers Radio Network. One of the greats. Could be an all-time great if he sticks around Milwaukee for his career. Very, very excited to hear him on the call tonight, and really appreciate him taking the time early on a Saturday morning to talk with myself and Owen Dimful. We continue the Saturday Scramble after this. Live from Camp Randall Stadium for the Blood Cancer United's Big Climb. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Steady. I hit my thumb.
What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Did you swear that you'd get that house project done ages ago and now it's causing you real pain? From leaky faucets to light fixtures, let our handyman team at Bruner Realty fix it all. Fast, friendly, and without the agony. We take care of it so you don't have to. Visit fixedbybruner.com. That's fixedbybruner.com.
Discover the all-new TPC Wisconsin, Madison's premier destination for families, women, and golfers of all levels. Fresh off a stunning $30 million transformation, TPC Wisconsin offers more than championship golf. Enjoy a welcoming community with tennis, pickleball, a world-class golf academy, swimming, fitness, and family-friendly activities all year long. Experience the newest TPC golf club in the world right here in Madison. Visit tpcwisconsin.com to explore memberships and schedule your tour today.
At Carbon World Health, feeling your best isn't a luxury, it's a lifestyle. From advanced aesthetics and rejuvenating med spa treatments to personalized wellness care, everything there is designed around you. Whether you're refreshing your look, boosting your confidence, or investing in total body wellness, Carbon World Health combines medical expertise with a spa-like experience you'll love. Discover the med spa Sun Prairie is talking about. Book your consultation today at Carbon World Health, where wellness meets results.
Spring is here. Time to get growing at Felly's Flowers and Greenhouse. Felly's has everything you need to bring your garden to life, including the largest selection of locally grown annuals, perennials, vegetable plants, and custom hanging baskets. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just getting started, Felly's Greenhouse in Fitchburg has the best selection to make your garden bloom. Proudly voted Best of Madison, choose Felly's Flowers as your go-to garden destination. Visit us today and grow with Felly's.
Wisconsin, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart. Beer. Specifically, great beer. And if you haven't met Yuengling yet, allow me to introduce you. Yuengling is the oldest brewery in America, founded in Pottsville, PA in 1829. 197 years, 6 generations of family-owned brewing. Do you know how they became America's oldest brewery? By making great beer. This is a real American beer. Smooth, rich, and finally here in Wisconsin. So grab a Yuengling, raise a glass, and celebrate history the way it was meant to be celebrated, by drinking it. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
It happens without warning. And when it's a truck crash, everything changes. Trucking and insurance companies know how to protect themselves after a crash. Call Gruber Law Offices and let us protect your rights. Never take on the insurance company alone. We've got the knowledge, skills, and resources to fight and win. And you pay nothing up front to get the help you need. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app.
This loss is as painful to Packer fans as you can ever imagine.
A customizable homepage, easier and quicker live listening. Your shows at the touch of a fingertip. Available in Apple and Android app stores.
I have no evidence behind that whatsoever. It's just a feeling I have, and that might just be because I'm scared of this rivalry in the playoffs.
Your one-stop shop for ESPN Wisconsin. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Download it today.
Hey Wisconsin, it's construction season and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Saturday Scramble rolls on live from Blood Cancer United's Big Climb here at Camp Randall Stadium. Pleasure to be here. Haven't seen people climbing in a while. I'm wondering if that means all the climbing's wrapped up and I'm going to be doing it by myself, as it does appear people are cleaning up here. So we shall see what transpires. But taking a look at the polls we threw out there, starting with our YouTube poll, the first topic of the day. Do you want Barry Alvarez part of Wisconsin's AD search committee? Yes, at 71% versus no, 29%. I'm a little surprised at that. And again, maybe our viewers, you guys all watching on YouTube, really appreciate every single one of you, by the way. Just a little bit older of a crowd, like Jason Wilde was saying, whereas you have more memories, positive associations with Barry Alvarez. You understand what it was like before Barry Alvarez. So that would make more sense to me if that's the rationale. Or maybe more people want Barry a part of Wisconsin athletics consistently than I thought. I love Barry. He's great. Great to work with. Barry's the best. Let me just, before we're going to get to Brewers power rankings here in a short while, but let me just talk about Barry Alvarez and let you know, prove that this isn't coming from a bad place. I just think we need new ideas. Wisconsin athletics needs to go in a new direction and needs fresh blood here. But Barry is hilarious. Like, when you're on his team, he is behind you, he defends you, and he's hilarious. Like, I'm trying to remember. I believe it was the first time I produced his show, The Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez, now just the Barry Alvarez Show. But it was the end of the broadcast year for the show. It was the last show of the year. Football season had just ended. College football playoff had just wrapped up. I believe Ohio State had just won the title. And they surprised me because they had always eaten at the Great Dane restaurant. And I had never gotten food or anything like that. So they surprised me as the producer. They brought me some food in the Everlight Solar Studio. O-Dog will try and make sure we can get that for you at some point if we are ever on remote with some delicious food in play. But sometimes that's just a sacrifice you make as a producer. But they got me some food, and I had mac and cheese. And Tarek Sala, Derek Engler, Barry Alvarez, those are two former badges. That's the thing. Audience probably knows more than me about those guys. Former Badgers legends, Barry Alvarez. You know who he is. They're making fun of me, saying I was a cheap date. But Barry Alvarez, at the end of the show, he had no reason to do this. I mean, they were sort of hyping me up, talking about how it was a cheap date because I just ate mac and cheese, and that was all I wanted. Their mac and cheese was delicious, by the way. But Barry Alvarez is like, Riley, he's been handling the problems all year long. Riley, you've been awesome. Like, you've been to handling school. You've been to handling school. Like, you can handle it. And everyone laughed, and it was
Cool.
such a great compliment. Thank you. That was a cool moment. It was, Owen, and I don't care. I'm going to brag about it, that Barry Alvarez gave me a compliment. So I love the guy, and I see why there's so much loyalty to him as Wisconsin football fans and people who have known him over the years. I just don't think he needs to be a part of the search committee. But moving on to our second poll of the morning, I almost said afternoon. Now that the NFL schedule is out, how many wins do you see for the Packers in 2026? 60% of you say 11 to 12. I'm in that camp. While 40% say 9 to 10. No one on the 8 or less train, no one on the 13 or more train as well. And I think that 9 to 12 range for the Green Bay Packers this year is very fair. But I teased at the beginning of the segment we'd be talking some Brewers power rankings, and I told Anthony Salamone in the YouTube comments that we'd talk NL Central as well. So, without further ado, O-Dog, fire up the Brewers power rankings.
Riley, in this week's edition of the ESPN MLB Power Rankings, the Brewers stand at 6th on the list.
6th? I like that. Okay, I think that's very fair. Let me guess. I'm sure the Cubs are ahead of them. I'm sure the Dodgers are ahead of them.
Yep. Do you want to try and guess what spots?
Ooh. Nah, I'm not going to get that specific.
Okay.
Dodgers in front of them.
Yep.
And now it gets tricky. Are the Mariners still in front? I see. Now it's gotten to the point of the season where I'm paying attention to the Brewers and the Central. I'm not really focused on the rest of Major League Baseball anymore. Mariners still in front.
They are not.
Blue Jays still in front.
They are not.
Okay, just give me the other teams.
Number 5 at 28-14, the Tampa Bay Rays.
The Rays and the Braves. The Braves are definitely in front.
Yes, the Braves are actually number 1 ahead of the Dodgers with
I
a
forget.
30-13 record.
Braves are scorching right now. Braves are one of the best teams, if not the best team in baseball right now. So, should have known that. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, number 1, Braves. 2, Dodgers. 3, the New York Yankees, who the Brewers just swept. How do you feel about that?
That's fine. You know they're going to get the big city bias. They're the big brand. Like, they're not better than the Brewers. Brewers proved that they would be the best team in the American League with that sweep of the Yankees last weekend. So, you just expect it. It's not deserved, but I wouldn't expect anything less from the ESPN National Baseball Power Rankings.
I would have to agree. And then you have the Chicago Cubs at number 4 and Tampa Bay Rays, like I said, at number 5. So coming up on Monday, we're going to have, according to the power rankings, number 4 Cubs versus number 6 Brewers. How do you feel about that series coming up, Riley?
I love it. It doesn't matter where the Cubs stand right now because they are the Chicago Cubs. And to Anthony Salamone's comment, correct me if I'm mispronouncing your name, Anthony. He says he thinks it's going to come down to the last day of the season to claim the NL Central. And he might be right. But I know for a fact that the NL Central is not claimed in May. So I have been less than zero. I could not tell you how little concern is coursing through my soul about the Chicago Cubs having 2 10-game winning streaks in the first few months of the season. I am not concerned that they're 2.5 games ahead of the Brewers. I'm not going to be concerned if the Cubs win the series this upcoming week against the Brewers. I'm not worried. The Brewers have been injured. I understand the Cubs have been dealing with injuries too, especially to their starting rotation. However, it's the same story every year. How many times have we done the same rigmarole of the Cubs starting out hot and then slowly but surely, as the season collapses, they're still a good team, Cubs are very good. I think it's going to come down to the Brewers and Cubs in the NL Central, but they're going to fade. Like, how many times do we have to watch the same movie play out? Like, I am not worried about the Chicago Cubs one iota. How are they a significantly improved team to last year? Alex Bregman? I mean, I get Nico Horner has had a fantastic start to the season. He ain't better than Bryce Terang, that's for sure. Bryce Terang, best second baseman in baseball. One of the best players in baseball right now. Who do they have? You telling me Shota versus Jacob Mizorowski, game 1? You're telling me you're not taking the Miz there? Like, Jeff was talking about it. Like, the Brewers and Cubs match up pretty well.
And just for clarification on the Alex Bregman, he's only batting .250.
He's been garbage this year. He was on my fantasy baseball team earlier. I traded him because he's been terrible. PCA is never going to play at an MVP level like he did in the first half of last year. Like, they can hit. The Cubs can hit. And that's concerning, sure, but it's hard to stay consistently hot at the plate. That is a fact. Pitching travels better than hitting most of the time. And you get to the postseason, you want aces. So I do think it's going to be a dogfight all the way down the stretch, the rest of the season, between the Brewers and the Cubs. I think the rest of the Central will fade. They'll be good, scrappy, I'm sure. Jeff said it. Every team has gotten better, but I don't think any of them are to the level of the Brewers and Cubs. Think it's going to come down to the end, but I think the Brewers are going to win the Central again. I'm not worried about the Chicago Cubs whatsoever. Owen, do you feel any differently?
No, not really. I mean, I think the division as a whole success will continue probably until July, maybe early August, because I do think all 5 teams are legit enough to compete for a majority of the season. However, I do think in the final 2-month stretch is where the cream of the crop is going to rise, and it's going to be between the Brewers and the Cubs. And as you mentioned with the pitching and the aces, it's really hard not to take the Brewers pitching when it's compared to anybody else, especially against the Cubs, because they've proven year after year that no matter what, they get it done at the end of the year.
Yep. And which team would you rather have? A team that has consistently, under the Brewers' former manager, who also lacked playoff success, a team that has consistently shown you it will peak probably around June and then slowly fade as the season goes on, or a team that will probably start out of the gates a little slower but continue to improve and peak at the end of the season. Last year, the Brewers were playing their best baseball at the end of the season. They unfortunately ran out of steam against the Dodgers in the NLCS. They didn't have the depth to compete with a Dodgers roster that had been hurt most of the year but was still so ridiculously good they could make the playoffs comfortably. And then when their whole roster was healthy heading into the postseason, there's just no team that could beat them. Blue Jays got close. Brewers, unfortunately, in the postseason, not really. Got close. They beat them undefeated against the Dodgers in the regular season, which shows, again, like, this team just swept the Yankees. The Brewers, at their peak, which they're not even close to peaking yet, can beat anyone. Like, it's similar. I was saying similar things with the Badgers, I believe, last year when they were playing at their best. Or maybe it was the Brewers, that when they're playing at their best, no one can beat them. And I think that still rings true today, hence why I'm not worried about the Chicago Cubs. I think the Brewers, it's going to be a good series. It's going to be tight. It's going to be back and forth all season long. There's going to be vitriol. The Cubs are going to be fired up heading into this season, especially if it comes down to it, down the home stretch. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be raucous. It's going to be intense. But give me Pat Murphy, give me the Brewers, give me the team that has done it before and has clearly shown they have the talent to do it again.
Well, and I just look at this upcoming schedule, too, and it's not just the Cubs to start the week, next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then they host the Dodgers at home, another playoff rematch before they go to St. Louis. Or no, they host St. Louis. So they're at Chicago for 3 games, and then 6 games total between the Dodgers and Cardinals at home. This is a big stretch of games. I think they're really going to have to prove themselves with this competition coming up. Do you think they can get it done?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think if you're the Brewers and try and win every series, go 2-1 every series, and even say you go 500 during that stretch, you win the Cubs series, lose the Dodgers series, win the Cardinals series. I'm not worried about that. You go 500, I'm feeling okay. Again, like we've heard, I believe Jeff Levering has said it on Wilde and Tausch. We've heard Lane Grindle say it on Jim, Matt, and Molly. We've heard Dom Catronio say it. Like, standings don't really matter until after the All-Star break. So I think this is an important stretch for the Brewers, 100%. It's a good litmus test, more so for me. Where's this team at right now? Where can this team be at the end of the season when healthy? Like, what's the ceiling? And if they struggle during this stretch, maybe they lose every series, it's going to be really frustrating. But I don't think it changes any expectations or it proves anything negatively about this squad. I think we know they can compete, and this is a great opportunity for the Brewers to prove just that. Very excited. Brewers, before they can get to the Cubs, the Dodgers, or the Cardinals, they got to get through the Minnesota Twins tonight. Live broadcast right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers. I believe first pitch is slated for 6:40. Correct me if I'm wrong, or 6:30. Taking a look at the schedule right now. 6:10 with pregame coverage beginning at 5:35 right here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Everyone's favorite segment, or at least my favorite segment, selfishly, Riled Up. Coming up next, don't go anywhere. This is the Saturday Scramble live from Blood Cancer United's Big Climb at Camp Randall Stadium. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best, not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. Cheers! When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is always worth playing for, with only 95 calories and superior smooth taste. It's the ultimate trophy. Michelob Ultra, Superior Light Beer. Enjoy responsibly. 2026 Anheuser-Busch, Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It starts with a spin, and suddenly, you're not just looking at a screen. You're looking at your winnings. But what would you do with them? Imagine a heavy-duty chromed-out 4x4 that doesn't just turn heads, it spins them. From imagination to celebration, what would you do with your winnings? Find out today at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
The Bucks are listening to trade offers on Giannis.
It's the smart basketball move that nobody wants to talk about.
He's given everything to this city. He's brought us a championship.
Is this the end of an era in Milwaukee?
He has consistently said he wants to be able to compete for championships. He did not say he wants to do it in Milwaukee.
Now's the hard part. Finding the right team that's going to give you the right assets back that you can reset, because you're never going to find another Giannis.
Follow along on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Every morning starts with questions about what's ahead.
At News 3 Now this morning, we're here to help you start your day ready and informed.
From the weather you need to plan your day,
to what's happening across our community and the 608.
And the consumer information helping you make smarter choices.
From your first cup of coffee
or your third cup to the moment you head out the door.
Wake up with Chris, Kyrie on, Josh Savannah, and Michelle Renee Quinn. News 3 Now this morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m. Weekdays, moving forward.
Imagine the peace of mind knowing your home or business is safe 24/7. I'm Jeffrey Beckman, president of J&K Security Solutions, and we provide security you can trust. Serving Madison and southern Wisconsin, J&K Security Solutions offers state-of-the-art home and business security systems tailored to your needs. From video surveillance to home and business automation, to find out how J&K Security can help secure what matters most in your life, visit jksecurity.com.
Here's to experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Every deliciously cheesy, rockin', magical, fireworks-filled, festival-loving moment. There's Cheese Curd Fest in Ellsworth, Strawberry Fest in Cedarburg, Festival of the Arts in Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol, Honor the Earth Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, Venetian Fest, Bratfest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at TravelWisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
This is the Saturday Scramble, live from Camp Randall Stadium, here for Blood Cancer United's Big Climb. Beautiful Saturday. It appears that the staff is wrapping up, and the stairs have been climbed here at Camp Randall Stadium. Nothing to be riled up about today with this event. However, there are some other things to be riled up about, particularly this next thing I shall be telling you about during Riled Up.
This is where we call it like we see it. No sugarcoating.
People are riled up these days.
What are you so riled up about?
If it's soft, we're calling it soft.
Now you're getting all riled up.
I got riled up.
If we are angry, we let it be known.
And now I got you all riled up.
It's time to get riled up.
Yeah, it is time to get riled up on Saturday Scramble, and we are here at Camp Randall Stadium, home of the Wisconsin Badgers, 14-time Big Ten champion Wisconsin Badgers, might I add. Home of lots of joy, lots of misery as well, including 2 years ago when the Minnesota Golden Gophers came to town and wrenched Paul Bunyan's axe away from Luke Fickell and the Wisconsin Badgers. And, you know, that game and last year's game as well, it just sticks with me. You know, Wisconsin, Minnesota, it is the greatest rivalry in sports. And there was a tweet from Ari Wasserman. It might be pronounced Adi Wasserman, like the Badgers wide receivers coach, Adi Confessor, or Ari, not sure exactly. But him and his college football team at On3 had a draft of the top college football rivalries. And Wisconsin-Minnesota was the final selection of one Ari Wasserman, which I respect. I think Ari knows ball. The rest of these clowns, River, I think, and Andy, they don't know ball. And Wisconsin-Minnesota was horribly disrespected already by having to wait until the final selection. 15 rivalries were selected. It was Ari's final pick. It is behind Ohio State, Michigan, Texas, Oklahoma, the Iron Bowl, USC, Notre Dame, Miami, Florida State, Army, Navy, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, BYU, Utah, Backyard Brawl, Pitt, West Virginia, Texas A&M, Texas, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and South Carolina, Clemson. That's just ridiculous. And then I see the comments, and people have the audacity to say, oh, Wisconsin, Minnesota, terrible pick. Oh, what an awful selection. Oh, how is that better than this, and this, and this? Insert random-ass SEC rivalry here. Like, the disrespect for the Axe game is absurd. Wisconsin, Minnesota is a top 5, if not top 3, rivalry in college football. I'll give you Ohio State, Michigan, number 1. Sure. I'll give you the Red River rivalry, number 2, if you want, and maybe Iron Bowl, Alabama, Auburn, just because of how many legendary moments there have been in that game. Fine. I'll give you those. But outside of that, come on. Like, you can't tell me Wisconsin, Minnesota isn't right up there as one of the best rivalries in college football. And I'll give you 3 reasons why Wisconsin, Minnesota is a top 5 rivalry. Number 1, it's the oldest rivalry in college football. No other rivalry has been around as long. Army, Navy, they haven't been playing as long as Wisconsin, Minnesota have consecutively. Granted, there were some world wars in there, so you can't really fault our servicemen and women. I respect that. But Michigan, Ohio State, they haven't been playing as long as Wisconsin, Minnesota. Notre Dame, USC, 2 legendary programs. They haven't been playing as long as Wisconsin, Minnesota. Wisconsin and Minnesota have been doing it longer than anyone. That breeds my number 2 reason. There's genuine hatred from both of these schools. Like, I despise the University of Minnesota.
Oh, we know.
Golden Gophers. Exactly. And everything they stand for, by the way, as an institution and a football program and an athletic department. I hate them with all of my being. That doesn't happen in every other rival. Put the hatred for Wisconsin, Minnesota up against any of these rivalries. I'm sorry. It's not coming out second. It's not losing to any of these. Like, the hatred is true. It is pure. It is unfiltered. It is unabashed. I have never been, until I talked smack, until I called Minnesota a little brother on air for the Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show following Wisconsin's loss this year, I had never been DM'd hate. I hadn't really received much hate messaging from fans or listeners alike. Like, a little bit here and there, like, that's a dumb take, not a fan of what you said there, like a little bit.
I feel like you're opening up a can of worms here, Riley.
But I have never received as much vitriol as I did for calling Minnesota little brother. I had countless Minnesota fans DMing me on Instagram calling me ugly, stupid, every name you can think of. And you're going to tell me Wisconsin, Minnesota isn't a top rivalry? I was AI'd into a clown by Minnesota fans. Like, what are we doing? We had 70-plus comments on our Twitter page all just bashing me. I had Gopher media outlets quote tweeting me, calling me the biggest moron of all time. Like, and you're telling me people in Wisconsin, Wisconsin and Minnesota, how does that rivalry belong up in the top? Oh, you should come down to the South where we do football correct. No, wrong. Big Ten, best conference, best rivalries, Minnesota, Wisconsin, genuine hatred, reason number 2, top rivalry. And 3, best trophy in college football. Who else? What other teams are chopping down the goalpost with an axe? None of them. I'll tell you. Zero. Like, it is so cool. Like, there's not a cooler trophy in college football. It's insane. Like, guess you got, a golden cowboy hat for the Red River rivalry? Sure. Iron Bowl, I don't think they have a trophy. Michigan, Ohio State, they don't have a trophy. Like, come on. That's part of the fun, part of the pageantry, part of the tradition of college football are these sick trophies, and no one's beats Wisconsin and Minnesota's. It's insane. Those are my 3 reasons. Oldest rivalry, best trophy, genuine hatred between these 2 schools. I just get incensed. I never defend Minnesota, but since they are our little brother, I feel it's my duty to step up in this case and defend Lil Bro, defend their honor along with ours, that Wisconsin, Minnesota is a top rivalry in college football. I get so frustrated when I see how disrespected Wisconsin, Minnesota is as a rivalry. I don't understand it. Like, clearly you just haven't been a part of it. And I get there are other great rivalries in college football. That's what makes college football so awesome. All the great rivalries. But not many can hold a candle to Wisconsin, Minnesota, and the outright disrespect it gets, I refuse to stand for it. So I felt like this was a good opportunity to stand on business and defend the sanctity of the Axe game. Owen,
couple things after that. Great. I love that, Riley. The biggest thing that I'm thinking of is when you brought up the point of the trophies. I can't really think of another trophy in college football where an entire team rallies around it at the end of the game. When you have the winner of the Wisconsin-Minnesota game rushing to the sideline, whether it's they're retaining it on their own sideline or running over to the opponent's sideline.
I wish they still did that. And that's the thing. Minnesota wrecked that because they were cowards and babies about us winning the Axe. They're like, no, you can't rush to our sideline. We're going to fight you about it, even though we just had 60 minutes and lost a football game. So now they put it at the goalpost. Still really sick, though. Continue.
Yeah, it's just I think no other teams rally around a trophy in a tradition of chopping down the goalposts quite like this rivalry in Paul Bunyan's Axe. It's electric. It sucks. It burns watching the other team.
It's so painful.
It's painful. It is very, very painful, and I just don't know if another team experiences that kind of pain when they watch their biggest rival take a trophy, a golden cowboy hat. I think that's what you referred to.
Yeah, for the Red River. You got the old Oaken bucket, maybe? I mean, Minnesota and Michigan, I think, play for a statue of Paul Bunyan.
You hold it, you take pictures with it. Like, it's cool. It's cool, but there's a pageantry around Paul Bunyan's Axe and claiming it.
And it hurts watching another team, a team that just beat you, a hated rival, celebrate regardless. But watching them chop down your goalposts, like
especially if it's at your home field too.
On your field, like sure, there's the whole flag planting run of every rivalry game, just ended and they take their flag and plant it on midfield. Like that's cool, but it's not unique and it doesn't happen every year. Like watching the entire team crowd around your goalposts and chop them down, just devastating. Just devastating. And I think the only thing that holds it back is the fact that Wisconsin and Minnesota haven't been good at the same time, which is frustrating. We'll see. I think it's going to be a great game this year. But that's my riled up. I hate seeing it disrespected. Greatest rivalry in college football. I will stand on that. You have an argument for a few others, but bare minimum, top 5 rivalry in college football. Wisconsin, Minnesota. Can't wait to watch them take back the Axe this year. This is the Saturday Scramble live from Blood Cancer United's Big Climb at Camp Randall Stadium. We wrap up the show next. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000-square-foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Get ready to sip into summer with the new Carbless Americana Backyard Bliss Variety 8-pack. 4 nostalgic flavors, strawberry, cherry, grape, and apple, all packed up and ready to celebrate America's 250th birthday. It's backyard barbecues, fireworks, lawn games, and classic summer flavor in every can. This season, bring the party, bring the nostalgia, and bring the bliss with the new Americana Backyard Bliss 8-pack from Carbless. Pick up the brand new variety pack at your local retailer or go to drinkcarbless.com to find it near you.
Listen to Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
If we don't win the division this year, I think you have to really start looking at what are we doing. Now, it's going to be tough. The Vikings will be better. The Lions, I believe, are going to be better if they can stay healthy. And the Bears are the Bears. But this team and this organization needs a division championship.
Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Wrapping up Saturday Scramble here live from Camp Randall, Blood Cancer United's Big Climb. Just looking at the tallies up on the Jumbotron here, and they've raised tens of thousands of dollars for blood cancer research. They're funding over 200 active research projects worldwide. Really cool event. Really glad that they had us out. Cool to watch. We're talking with Jason about the firefighters going up and down the stairs. There are lots of other teams and coordinated T-shirts. Fortunately, the event's wrapped up, so I don't think I'm going to get to be able to climb the steps. But still an awesome event nonetheless. Really appreciate them having us out. And really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. It's been a fun show. A little different challenge today, hosting solo with Owen back at the Everlight Solar Studio. So sort of tag teaming. But Owen, I know you got a lot of responsibilities back there as the producer as well, making us look and sound good. So I appreciate you as well. Big shout out to Jason Wilde, Jeff Levering, making my life significantly easier today. And they're entertaining, informative, always learn something new when we get to talk to it. Like, they're professionals. They're the best. I didn't realize Jeff was that much older than me. When he said he was in high school, graduating high school in '89, what? He's like actually closer to my parents' age than I thought. But alas, it's neither here nor there. I thought he was still like in his early mid-30s, but I was wrong. But we got to talk some Badgers athletic director search, some Barry Alvarez, some Green Bay Packers and their schedule, and some Milwaukee Brewers as well. As we have some stragglers here at the Big Climb cheering us on as we wrap things up here on the Saturday Scramble. Thank you so much for tuning in. Coming up next, we have ESPN Major League Baseball. Get to hear the Toronto Blue Jays take on the Detroit Tigers. First pitch will be coming your way at noon Central, right after we wrap things up here. And then later, don't miss the Milwaukee Brewers at Minnesota, taking on the Twinkies. First pitch is 6:10. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:35 right here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. For one final time, for Jason Wilde, Jeff Levering, our amazing part-timers here on site at Camp Randall, our esteemed producer, Owen Dimple, my name is Riley Jauch. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Saturday Scramble today. God bless each and every one of you on Wisconsin, and have a beautiful rest of your Saturday. Peace, everybody. I love it.
Whether you're grilling outside, sitting on the patio, or watching the game, summer is the perfect time to sip on a cocktail made with Door County Distillery. Handcrafted award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. Mix up a G&T with that signature green bottle of gin, or sip on it with a couple of rocks, my favorite, the Door County Distillery Bourbon.